All right, welcome to the Ravit Show. We are here at Snowflake Summit, and look who are with me, CEO of Calibo, Scott. Welcome to the Ravit Show.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
It's your debut. I'm super excited as well. I'm excited to see what you all have been doing in this space, and I'm kind of also curious to learn a little bit more about Calibo and what you all are doing. So, can you share about a little about that as well?
Oh, sure I can, of course. We as Calibo, first of all, we see that there's an industry issue in the market. First of all, it's taking too long for enterprises to develop both data and digital
Right.
capabilities and solutions. So we have a product that basically helps automate and orchestrate the entire life cycle from idea all the way through outcome of developing a digital and data and AI product.
That's fantastic. And how's Snowflake conference been so far for you?
Snowflake Conference is an outstanding conference for us. We get a lot of attention and a lot of excitement here with a lot of engagement from potential prospects and some of our customers.
And I know for a fact where you all talk about democratized innovation a lot. What does that mean to you? And can you share a little bit about why that is important?
Yeah, one of the challenges that we have today in most enterprises is that most of the innovation is seen that needs to be done with technologists, but in the end, the ideas are coming from the business. And also
Sure.
the business areas have technologists inside, and how you can actually allow everyone within the enterprise to also drive innovation, but having it in a controlled environment.
And how does that rapid innovation for development happen? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's an important point. So some of the challenges in the industry is that it takes a long time for both business or technology resources to get the environments that they need
Yep.
or get the access to the data that they want. So our platform is establishing basically a self-service capability. So instead of creating tickets and waiting for people to actually respond, they can actually do the work when they want to do the work.
Okay, that's fantastic. And what have you been hearing from enterprise leaders here? I know you're talking to a lot of customers. Y'all have like a jam-packed booth. We've just made some space for us to interview. But then, kind of curious to know, what are you hearing? What are they talking about in terms of when it comes to innovation or even adapting a new technology such as AI? Right. The implementation process kind of takes a while, and they want to make sure that there are enough guardrails in place as well.
So yesterday I was fortunate enough to be able to give a presentation to a couple hundred people, and,
Yeah.
and I asked, the first question was, how many people are in the business? And about 60% of the people actually said, I'm in the business side, and 40% said they're on the IT side. And I asked them a question that said, how many are you on the business side are frustrated that it takes too long to be able to innovate? All of them raised their hand. And then I asked, how many on the IT side are frustrated that you're too slow to be able to support the business and innovation? They all raised their
Oh,
hand.
wow.
So, that's resonating. I had conversations with a senior executive yesterday from a large enterprise, and he was asking me the question like, man, what you do is incredible.
Right.
But how do I deploy? And I was like, how do I deploy and leverage Calibo? And I'm like, well, first of all, you already are doing what we're doing, but in 25 different ways, in very different
So true.
manual processes. So we take a step-by-step approach, taking first a pilot approach to be able to help deploy and help automate
Love
the
it.
capabilities that are needed.
Yeah. It kind of also gives a lot of trust to the enterprise leaders because they are in a way where they feel confused at times as well. The technology is moving so fast. How do they kind of feel more confident about moving into a direction which is new to them? But at the same time, these larger enterprises have like so much of data. So how do they kind of work around?
So one of the things that you bring up is, previous to being the CEO of Calibo, I was a chief information officer at a Fortune 100 pharma company, top 10
wow.
pharma
So
company.
you've been on the other side as well.
So one of
Awesome.
the things that was interesting to me is I always knew that we were too slow,
Yep.
but could never understand why we were so slow until I came and started to help start Calibo.
Exactly.
And then you can start to understand the complexity of the technologies that are being used, as well as the inherent poor business processes or poor processes that help develop products and solutions is so complicated.
Yep.
And that's the problem we're trying to solve.
That's awesome, and I really like where you're kind of coming from regulated industries. So particularly healthcare, finance, these regulated industries always have like so much, so much of, like, I wouldn't say it's slow, but then it's still,
No, there's a lot of importance in regards to compliance policies that, of course, the risk if you were to do something wrong is so
So true.
substantial.
Exactly what I mean.
So then obviously having consistent processes on how you develop both data and AI products is important.
One more quick question about Sandbox. So how can Sandbox capabilities benefit the enterprise teams? Can you share a little about that too?
Yeah, so one of the things that we see is many areas within the business want to innovate, but then whenever they need to innovate, then they then have to make a request and go through the complexity I just mentioned around the technologies as well as the processes to be able to support. So we have a concept of how we can provide, let's say, a digital sandbox or an innovation sandbox that then gives them the technology, provides the guardrails, provides the security, but provides the self-service so they can be autonomous to do the innovation, and then when it's the time for them to scale, they can then leverage, whether they decide to leverage Calibo or whether they decide to leverage their existing development processes.
Yeah, one more quick question around, just like a follow-up question around that is like, if you can share any examples of, methodology-driven innovation with our audience, that would be
Yeah. So sometimes people think that they need to innovate to be able to innovate. So one of the things is we've defined an innovation methodology that we can actually support via our platform. But one of the key things there is instead of trying to figure out how you're going to innovate, you can just focus on the business outcome that you're trying to solve.
Right.
And we have examples in our platform where you can create templates that allow you to create repeatable data pipelines, or also policy templates that help define what tools you're going to be using. So instead of trying to figure out what tools you should use to innovate, that's a consistent process.
Very important. And one more quick question around, the role of business teams evolving tech-led innovations. I know you talk to both the sides, not only just the business, but the tech-led as well. How are they thinking about the complete process? What are you hearing from them?
Yeah, so one story, previous to me being the CIO of Novartis, I was the CIO of Chrysler, and I was having, when I was asked the question and offered the job at Chrysler, the CEO at the time said, I want to be able to clean up shadow IT and bring everything together. What's changed today is that doesn't work in today's world. The business needs to be able to innovate, to be able to drive those capabilities. So having that flexibility to allow business to have business-led innovation where technology can provide the environments for them to be successful are important. The last comment that I'll make is that sometimes businesses do not have the right skills and capabilities to be able to do that. So one of the other things that we're focusing on is being able to have a service that's called innovation as a service. So we provide our platform, we provide also resources that can help try to innovate, to facilitate and be a catalyst to get you on your journey.
That's awesome. These are fantastic insights that you're sharing here, Scott. One more quick question I have for you is, if folks want to learn more about Calibo, where can they do that?
Well, of course, you can go to our website, calibo.com. Of course, also we have a strong LinkedIn following as well. But also just reach out directly to us would be great.
Fantastic. And if they want to follow you, LinkedIn is the best place. I know LinkedIn, your team kind of puts out great things, great fun stuff as well, and make data and AI easier for us.
So one of the things that's our philosophy and culture is that work can't just be work, we also need to have fun.
So
and also we want to make sure that that is exposed to the rest of the world. So yes, LinkedIn would be the best.
Fantastic, Scott. Such a pleasure chatting with you, and thanks for all the great insights. I hope you'll have a fantastic conference ahead, and we'll keep the conversation going. We'll keep learning more about Calibo and the things that you all are doing. Thanks once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.